between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Philadelphia Eagles. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Back to throw. Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is now with his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
15 yards through the air on a first down. And they talked about how important the passing game was going to be against that defensive look. Good job there going to the air for the first down.
It's all about preparation. It's all about planning. And then it's about execution. So they put it all together in practice. Okay, this is what we think we're going to see. This is how they get to it. And then when the game comes, read it and attack it.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. On play action, they'll throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Michael Kendricks. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line. They told us repeatedly earlier in the week in our meetings, we need some plays from our defense here on the road early. They got one.
And don't think they were above all week long pointing out to their defense that the other defense is rated higher than them. You going to let that happen, guys? Is that how we're going to play? And they responded to the challenge. 2
yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Now Wentz on 3rd down. And he hits his man, Matthews. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
The goal of every offense is to move the chains, pick up first downs. A nice job finding an open receiver for a completion.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. Uses the stiff arm. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Give him 18 on that one. And the Eagles are going to have a first down.
For a guy who went to college as a quarterback, Ryan Matthews has turned into quite the power runner. If he can only stay healthy, well, his numbers would be huge, I think.
His numbers so far, 2 times over 1,000 yards with the Chargers, 5 years there now in his 2nd year with the Eagles. Now they try the right side here. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick. But when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Throwing on first is Wentz. That is caught. Ertz, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles have taken the early lead. Quarterback loves the receivers, but sometimes his best friend is that tight end.
Yeah, it's hard to believe, isn't it? Because we always talk about the guys out wide and how acrobatic they are. But that tight end, great sight lines, easier throws, they become a bigger and bigger weapon as the NFL evolves.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Well, that was man coverage. So once he decides to run with the football, there's no one to account for him, and he turns it into a nice gain.
And Gronkowski's got it, complete over the middle. No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10. Back with Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin. It's Steeler football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd and 10 to start things out. Now back to throw. Quickly to Gronkowski. That's caught. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Bell, and able to pick up the first across midfield to the 47. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do, it was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it, sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. 15 yards through the air and a 1st down. So here, the men in charge are going to be looking at whether or not the receiver had possession of the ball as he went out of bounds.
And that
well, he challenged the play. It did not pay off.
And that means he lost a timeout in that challenge.
And as a coach, you hate that. Don't know if you took the advice of the player, you threw it yourself, but it didn't go your way.
At the end of the day, it all comes back to the head coach. He has the final determination on whether to actually challenge the play or not. In this case, it didn't pay off for him.
And that's got to be so heartbreaking. You throw that flag, you probably feel really confident, and then all of a sudden, boom, you lose the challenge.
Yeah, when you take a look at it, you're throwing that flag because you believe you're going to be right. And when it comes back the other way, you have to regroup. I go all the way back to college with Le'Veon Bell, one of the better body transformations I've seen, from a big, thick power back to the guy we see now who can do everything.
And 2 years ago, of course, last year the injury, but 2 years ago over 1,300 yards. I think they think he can top that this year.
I don't think there's any question about it.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. Le'Veon Bell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers are an extra point away from tying this thing up. Solid job up front, really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. A 10-play drive that time. And it ends with a Le'Veon Bell touchdown run. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
We got three, fellas. We got three.
Let's go. 3-19. Hot 3-19. On second down, Ryan Matthews. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34.
Illegal block in the back. Offense. Still second down.
Play fake to Matthews. Now it's Wentz. He's going to float. He's got a man. Complete. A gain of 32 that time. And I guess, Charles, sometimes when you have a receiver well over 6 foot, you do that. Just put it up there, let him grab it, and he did.
And it certainly appears like a 50-50 ball, right? We always talk about that when both sides have a chance to get it, the receiver or the guy covering him. But I think the odds actually are in favor of the offense. They can see the ball coming oftentimes before the defender can get his head around. So I think that really goes to like 70-30, and they should be able to go up and get it most of the time.
And he got it there. It's a gain of 24 that time. And it'll be first down, Eagles. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does when the quarterback has to slide and find open space to throw.
From the gun, it's Wentz. This complete left side to Aguilar. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target. Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Throwing is Wentz. He's got time in the pocket. And this is going to be incomplete. He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And it brings up 4th down. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal. From the left hash, this from 39. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
He gets it into the hands of Gronkowski, complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. He'll look to throw, and he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Sproles, the return. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Eagles take possession. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock.
Watch left, watch left. Start right there.
On second down, here's Wentz. Ertz over the middle. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. It's a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they get the field goal near the end of the first half to expand that lead.
Yeah, that's got to feel good, but they can't let up. Now on the kickoff, they've got to make sure they don't give up a big return or big yardage to set up the other team for one last chance to score themselves.
One receiver left, 3 to the right. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's going to air one out. That's caught inside the 20. And he is taken down deep in Philadelphia territory. And never mind, Larry. These two teams apparently anxious to get back at it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Oh, spinning away. Still on his feet. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. They'll run it now out of the gun. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. James Harrison, the veteran, in on the stop. So nothing there, but maybe you blame that on the blocking.
Yeah, at some point, you've got to win at the point of attack. And on that play, that was all the defense. They made it happen.
Wentz going to throw. He's got time. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham, and it's 4th down. Here's Donnie Jones now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And now a high kick here as he'll try to hang it up there. With it is Brown. A 45-yard punt, 4 there on the return. And the Steelers are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. A look at the offense now here coming back out on the road for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back for the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%. They come up with one running back. That's Bell. Dancing to his left. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
He'll drop to throw. And it's complete to Ladarius Green. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up in the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears trying to go for it on fourth. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Over the middle, that's taken in by Gronkowski. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Eagles are going to take over in great field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that.
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right? But he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
Well, there they went blitz defensively, Charles, and things were paved well coming from the linebacker position.
I love the way that you described it, paved well. Oftentimes, the guy who gets home on the blitz, he's going to get all the credit. But his teammates did all the dirty work, right? They ran into people on purpose. They sometimes tugged on jerseys to hold linemen to create space and gaps. And that play finished off really, really well. Well-conceived, well-designed, and even better executed.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and it'll be fourth down. So now on is Caleb Sturgis for the Eagle field goal.
Boy, they had a lot of real estate to make up there, but what a big-time play for them. Nice completion, excellent game. Now they're in fourth and manageable.
Just a little short, though, of that marker. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
The Steelers offense now, they head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
Do you think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end. Remember how much we enjoyed watching him last week?
It's the same thing this week. Look at those numbers.
I'd hate to be a defender right now because no matter what they're throwing at him in terms of coverages, he's finding ways to defeat it. And even when he's covered, he's not covered. What is he doing? What's that term they use? He's uncovering and making big catches. Really fun to watch.
And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's the Steelers with the football, but trailing here as we get going in quarter number 4. Now a first down carry by Bell. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. A gain of 3, second down.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
Looking middle, it's caught by Gronkowski. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
And that's why defensive coaches preach swarming to the football. It's usually going to take more.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And Gronkowski's got it. Complete over the middle. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every third down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to third down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. 12 yards on the pickup, and it's good enough for a Pittsburgh first down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. So they're operating in the red zone.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed.
Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Antonio Brown, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers have now made this a one-score game. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and throw for it. And now the pressure gets there, and he goes down. So he couldn't get rid of the football, and that deficit stays right where it is. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And out now come the Eagles. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
Holding. Offense.
So a little grabbing there, but this time it goes against the offense for holding. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. They go play action for Matthews. Now Wentz. And this is Ertz with it, right side. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Throwing is Wentz. And he connects with Ertz. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here, down late, tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or a takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
10th carry now for Ryan Matthews. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. It's a gain of 20 that time. And the Eagles are going to have a first down. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve.
At halftime, you had to feel like the defense had to be in a good position. They had to feel good about themselves. They'd had this guy boxed in all game long. But after that run, that might be the breakthrough that he's looking for. Now they may have some difficulty dealing with him the rest of today.
Still first down.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense. Still first down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2. Well, they'll take that every time with a lead, first down, fourth quarter, getting 8 yards. You love that.
They will take it, and you have to ask the defensive guys, why did you give it? I mean, you know the situation. You're down, have to stop them, have to get the football back, but 8 yards on first down puts them back on their heels.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule...